back for another episode of the Top Rugby Show, the Unpro Pro Rugby Show. I wanted to tell I'm quacking excited. So I'm saying quacking. Okay. Hear me out. I've been given lots of feedback from people on YouTube to say that I swear a lot. My parents have also said I swear too much. So
Wow.
instead of editing back me swearing and putting a duck noise over it, my mom just said that I should just say quacking instead
Is
of.
it because I don't swear? Maybe if I come up, if I
I'm
do
making
what
up
you
for
do,
it.
it might
Yeah.
sound a bit better.
Yeah.
Maybe that's my fault.
But I just reply to people like I'm passionate, man. And when I'm
It's
passionate, I swear.
passion.
Yeah,
I was
that's
just
it.
about to say that's passion, man.
Passion, especially if your Springboks favorites heading into
Yes.
back-to-back World Cups. And it's the week of, man, I like every day. And I put it up a little post this morning saying this has been the easiest working week of my life because
I saw that.
every day I wake up and it's one day closer to the World Cup kickoff.
Mm.
Man, how good. How good.
Mate, it's getting closer.
Do you think it is the most anticipated World Cup because of how even it is?
I think so. Yeah, it's been a long time
Yeah.
since you've been able to look at a World Cup and gone, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? And that I think for a lot of people that's going to make that whole competition super exciting. So, yes, South Africa, watch out. It's not guaranteed yet.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. We've got a hard road to get there, but man, we're gonna run hard for it.
Absolutely.
Guys, just some admin quick. Please, if you enjoy the content, you've watched it before, please hit the subscribe button, like, and all that. It helps us to reach more people. And man, we're gonna be going hard this World Cup. We've got so much in store. There's so much content, so much footy to watch, rugby to watch, man, and we're gonna be on the ball for all of it. So, man, if you don't want to miss out, please hit that subscribe button. I've got a few. I wanted to tell you this quick, Mike, because like YouTube does nice little recaps of the week.
Yep.
So this past week, okay, 50.7 thousand people tuned in, and 362 new subscribers.
Mate, I was just about to say big shout out to every single person who's subscribed and watched. The numbers on these videos are like are decent, mate.
Yeah,
and we're just getting started. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and not like we're not also not like sitting on a high horse and everything. We just love it, man. Absolutely, two number 10s who think we know everything about the sport and just love chatting footy, love chatting rugby. And so again, guys, hit the subscribe. I did a little video that I'm gonna put up. That's a fancy little mouse that goes and clicks on the subscribe button to remind people as well. So I'll put that in the video. I'm getting good with my little edits, man.
Look at you go, man. Look at you go.
But it is, man. We are here. It's the week of kicks off, obviously, for us in Australia, 5 o'clock Saturday morning. So we thought we're going to do things a little differently. Lots of the channels and shows, and obviously good to them. They've covered a lot of the World Cup, but a lot of them have done your standard prediction and who's going to come out of the pools and who's going to be your best players. We've changed it up a little bit. I think the Rugby World Cup, iconic Rugby World Cup moments has definitely been one that's covered, but we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of that. And then we're going to touch on World Cups or rugby's hottest players at the moment. And when I say hot, I mean looks-wise. Smoking hot because, I mean, I'm going to toot my own horn here, but we're two good-looking roosters ourselves.
Wait, we do all right. All right.
Yeah. And I think you tipped me because you've got hair. That's all I'm giving you.
It might, and a fresh fade this morning, mate.
Yeah. I shaved this morning as well. So
did you?
Thanks for that. All right. We're going to jump into iconic Rugby World Cup moments. Man, I'm going to let you jump onto, we'll go one for one. I'm going to let you jump onto the first that you've got.
Okay. I'm sorry to do this to you, mate. It does involve the Springboks. Look, I went through it yesterday and today, and there is a lot of iconic moments. I think for me, I've done the ones that I've remembered. I've watched iconic moments, but I'm talking what I've watched. And my first one is Japan beating South Africa, mate, 34-32 at Amex Stadium in Brighton. Yeah, this one, mate, is the reason why I put this one down is because I looked into a few different ones and I was like, why was this so incredibly amazing for that Japanese team? Their previous Rugby World Cup win was 24 years prior to beating the Springboks, and they'd lost 18 games in the World Cups. on the bounce up to that game. So they didn't just beat a lower tier nation, they beat an informed Springboks team, and just, yeah, it was just an incredible moment for me. Again, obviously it involved the famous Eddie Jones had to be in part of it, of a controversial moment, but massive shout out to Japan. I think for me, watching that, I remember being on the edge of my seat, and when they scored in that corner, look, it's not because I don't like South Africa. I was just so happy for Japan. I want to know your thoughts on that from a South African point of view.
So that was my first year here in Australia, 2015, and we watched it. I remember watching it at we had like a boys' house, so there's like 4 or 5 of us that lived together. And I'm pretty sure one of the boys, Harry, bought a Japan jersey that next day and just wore it for like 3 months.
Yeah, why not?
And just to rub it in, like, oh man, like, again, massive supporter of rugby across the board. So when good footy, good rugby's been played, like, kudos to Japan, but that hurt. That definitely hurt.
Of course.
It kind of was the start of a very unsuccessful World Cup for South Africa at the 2015 World Cup. Very disappointing.
But on top of that, I feel like it was a turning point in Japanese rugby as well. Yep. And ever since they've been pretty strong. So
look at South Africa just being the stepping stone for rugby across the world. When we just take one for the team, we took one for the team there for
I've heard it all
of world rugby.
I've heard it all. Far out.
I knew that one was coming. That's been around. Oh man, yeah, that one always gets me. And again, kudos to South Africa for better world rugby. So I'm gonna go back to the 2003 World Cup, and you might have a couple there. And the main ones stand out. We know what those main ones are. I won't mention them yet, but the biggest one that I can remember. And Derek Hougaard was like 19 years old, getting chucked into the South African team as their marquee or key player at 10. Obviously could kick the leather of a ball, didn't miss with his scrum cap on, and they played against Samoa. And Brian Lima shot, or there was a quick tap from Joos van der Westhuizen. He hobbled the ball a bit and threw a loop hospital ball. And Derek Hougaard went to pick it up, and Brian Lima absolutely deleted him. One of the biggest hits I've ever seen. Mouth guard. I think his scrum cap went flying. The ball went flying. Oh man, just iconic moment.
Just folded him like a deck chair. I remember that. That wasn't one that actually popped up actually, but that video in particular pops up on social media all the time. And I think it was a fact. I think he left the ground, which made it even look even worse. But my God, he folded him.
Smashed him. Obviously made even more famous by being on, I'm pretty sure it was on the intro to Rugby 08 as well.
Really?
What a fucking tackle. Like, that's against the Islander teams. That's, like you mentioned, they're elusive, they're fast, they can run with the ball, but you've got to be wary when you've got the ball, because those guys are rushing out the line and smoking you.
I mean, Brian Lima as well. Like, I know all the Islanders can hit, but if you didn't want to run into one Islander, mate, it would have been Lima in his prime.
I'm pretty sure
he used to fold big guys.
And that was like his 5th or 4th World Cup. He went on to play another one. I'm pretty sure he played like 5 World Cups.
The thing is with Brian Lima, mate, he would hit big guys like that. It wasn't just smaller guys. He could hit like a freight train. It was crazy to watch.
It gives me shivers. Yeah, so that was one there. Back to you.
All right. Listen, I'm just going to quickly touch on one and then go on to it, because I couldn't put this in, but I think you pronounce it Ngwenya, burning Brian Habana in 2007. Now, this isn't one of mine, so if it's one of yours, I'll let you elaborate. Habana in his prime, being done on the outside by the winger of the USA, absolutely incredible. But I'm going to move on to my one, because that one didn't make the 3, but I just wanted to mention it. Jonah Lomu's try against England, mate. This will never leave my mind. It will never leave Will Carling, Tony Underwood's, and Mike Catt's mind to the day they're no longer with us. I just remember Lomu picking up a pretty poor pass and just getting past. I think it was first Tony Underwood, then Will Carling, and then just saw little old Mike Catt in front of him, and he was just a speed bump, just went straight over the top. And you got to think, right, Mike Catt in his prime, which was probably around this time, was a decent player, and he just walked over Mike Catt, slammed the ball down, got up, and just dominated. Just dominance, his physical size, just what he used to do to players was crazy. But that in particular, I've heard it from a lot of people and a lot of players, is and definitely an iconic, for me anyway, and massively iconic moment in World Cup rugby.
It's iconic to the show as well because it's part of the intro. It's part of the
There you
intro
go.
for the show. So, man, like my dad has always mentioned with that clip, Mike Cat couldn't have done anything better.
Oh,
He did all the tackle technique was there, low, shoulder, head on the right side. Hopefully, take them away, and he just got run over, man. And
yeah.
I think he claims that. Like you can't.
I
There's nothing
would, I
else you
would,
can do there.
I would
Yeah,
claim it.
I'll claim that. Yeah,
100%. I claim it. You can, and you, again, all jokes aside, you look at Lomu in his prime, mate, absolute beast.
yep.
There's no player, I think, since he retired, and obviously he's no longer here, but like, I don't think there's a player like him since. Really, there's players that have probably come close in terms of physical size, but in terms of ability and scoring ability, mate, that guy was just next level.
Those two molded together. Those two attributes. He had it. He had it all.
Yeah.
Revolutionized rugby at the time.
Rare. Yeah.
So I did have Ngwenya rounding Brian Habana in the 2007 World Cup. And Habana talks openly about this, like how he gave him the outside because he thought, no, it's fine. That was always his way of defending, was like he would back his own pace to catch someone and give credit where
Mistake.
and the inside or outside, inside, and then outside again. And then Ngwenya just burned it like beautiful. And that set him up again, a South African to his own detriment, setting up a rugby player for the rest of his career. Like outside Africa, like
doing it again. You can't help yourself. You can't help yourself, can you?
But I mean,
Yeah,
that was a great try. Yep.
Mate, that was I remember saying it as a player and as a team. We did defend tough in close. If they can beat us on the outside, fair play to him. But I don't think Habana really. He probably was aware of his speed, but
Not
obviously
like
giving him the outside is fine. But no, Habana in his prime going, well, I'm quick. I'm one of the quickest, if not the quickest. Oh shit, he's gone. He's not only gone, he's just scored. And like you said, mate, he may have set that guy's career up just a little bit.
Just a little
bit more.
A little, because that lit up that World Cup for sure. Because Habana, that was the World Cup. Habana scored 8 tries, which is the most in a World Cup.
Yeah, okay.
Level with Savia and Lomu. So 8 tries is the most anyone has scored in a World Cup. So Habana was all the talk. And then for Ngwenya to go do that, crazy, man.
Mental.
And then one little one that I wanted to touch on, the 2007 World Cup final, iconic moment. And this is a little dagger in your heart. Donnie Rousseau's tackle on Mark Cueto in the final. We just got his boots out when he went to score in the corner, and everyone
forgot about line
moved or perfect tackle. He knew exactly where the touchline was, and he was out all day.
I forgot that. Hey, that's the first time I thought that moment since that actually happened.
And it was iconic because it was such a big talking point. Like everyone was like,
yes.
What did he score in time? We knew he was out.
Mark Cueto. Wow. We're going back far out, man. Well, there you go.
And just shows my nerding out on footy stuff, rugby stuff.
Yeah.
I love that.
Unreal.
All right, jump on to you. We'll go last one each.
Okay. No surprise here, mate. Johnny Wilkinson's winning drop goal against Australia in 2003. Rugby World Cup final to beat Australia 2017. Now, yes, I'm English. Yes, I feel like I'm very fair when it comes to a lot of things. The reason I put this in, some people might say, oh, it's a drop goal. You know, he's one of the best kickers in the world. I've heard this from players that were in the team. The final whistle went. It went to extra time. The English team were in a huddle. Mike Tyndall turns to the rest of the team, the coach and staff, and says this, where is Johnny? They all turn around and he is practicing drop goals off his right and his left foot.
Oh.
And that's a true story. I've heard Mike Tyndall say it himself. And for then the game to continue, and then Johnny Wilkinson kick a winning drop goal off his weak foot to win a Rugby World Cup final in Australia against Australia in front of 90,000 people. I think to me that just separates good and great. And that's why I think you can put Johnny Wilkinson into that great category, because that just epitomizes excellence and brilliance, and just that's why he's got that legendary status. And you know, what other player would miss the team huddle in a World Cup final to go and work on his drop goals off both feet and then go and nail it? Like, it just seems so iconic to me. And you know, the guy was a pleasure to watch. He was my hero growing up, my idol growing up. And that just, to me, when I heard that, and that was only probably 3 or 4 years ago, when I heard that story, I just put the icing on the cake, mate. I was like, this guy is going down in history. He already was, but yeah.
What's happened there? Back to meeting. Sorry, guys. We've just got a little interruption. Man, that's honestly giving me chills.
Yeah, man.
That was
Just crazy. Like I'll say it once more, who misses their team huddle at full time in a World Cup final? Not tell anyone, just go and start knocking over drop goals with your right and left foot. Like to me, that's just call it arrogance, call it just smart. I don't know, but for me, it just sums up that
or
guy's
just
whole career right there.
him having to go through his processes to know what's right for him and what he needs to do to be in the right position, the right time, and know that he's done everything that he can
And
to
it paid off.
Yeah.
And it paid off.
Absolutely.
Like that to me, that's why it's iconic. Not because England won the World Cup. That whole story behind it was just, man, just like I said, put the icing on the cake.
Now I want to jump onto my last one, and this is the most recent World Cup.
I'm predicting South Africa's in this.
2019 final. Cheslin Colby try. How good. And man, it was just like, I think we were ahead at the time already, but his ability, like we all know Cheslin Colby, step.
Yeah.
But his ability to read plays and players that are in front of him and to know how much space is his awareness around that. You see him get the ball and look up and see Joe Marler's in front of him. He's got him for pace every day of the week. He's right hugging the touchline. He's goose-stepped him. Got one player to beat, and it's Owen Farrell. He knows he leads with the shoulder the whole time, and instead of trying to goose him again, he's just whacked him off the right foot. Owen Farrell tried to use his arm, but man, like it's impossible. I would say he'd be the hardest player to tackle one-on-one. And he's gone and scored. And there's an iconic photo of him then fist pumping. Like, man, that was great. And then just to top it off, South Africa has never lost to England in a World Cup final ever.
Anything else, mate? You wanna twist that knife anymore? But far out. Look, again, I'm talking. It's painful to hear, but when you look at that, when you go back and you look at that try in real time, again, we talked about it with the new young South African centre the other day. The balance, the ability to maintain. A lot of people slow down when they step.
Yeah,
Colby just steps, maintains speed, balance, finishes. Like it was insane. I remember watching it. I remember going, "There's no way he can score here," and then he scores, and I was like, "Far out." That was a moment in the game which done it for me, and probably done it for that English team as well. It was like, yeah, this is gonna be a long old day, and let me tell you, it was a long old day at the office that day.
absolutely. It was great. It
was incredible. Yeah.
Great to watch. And again, like obviously South African biased, but anything that aside, man, anyone would say that was a beautiful.
It could have been wearing any jersey. You would have appreciated that. Yeah.
All right. Well, that was a beautiful.
Glad that's out of the way. Holy.
I could have just done the South Africa versus England
against England. Yeah, I know, mate. I picked up on that.
All right. Now we're going to move into the most anticipated segment leading into the Rugby World Cup. And it is the hottest players in world rugby at the moment. And you might be thinking the best players on the field. But no. We're talking the hottest players, hottest looks-wise. Obviously, them being good at rugby is a byproduct. But I think if you're hot, you're good at rugby. You're naturally good at rugby if you're in the part of this section here. So I might jump onto the first, or I'll let you go first. So you
okay
go on your first one. We know the kind of outlines of what we're looking at. So
yeah. So I've gone for 3 players. Well, definitely 2 players you all would have heard of. I didn't dive deep into each squad to look for a hot male rugby player. I'm not going to lie, but a couple that definitely stood out.
Don't lie.
Maybe I did. The first person that came to mind for me, and I didn't really have to do much research on this, was for me Lee Halfpenny. Now, Lee Halfpenny, I just want to read a couple of things out here. Lee Halfpenny, 34 years old, 100 caps, 5'10", same height as me, perfect height. He's got that iconic Welsh tan, like Gavin Henson had. Where it comes from, I'm not sure. Probably a sunbed, but that's up to him. And I've just put down, he's a sort of guy I feel like that would put his hand in front of his missus when he's in the car driving and he brakes just to protect that. He's just got that real, like smooth, sort of like calming presence about him. Mate, he's jacked. He's a big lad. He's not that tall. He's tanned. He's a good looking chap. He's got decent hair. Like for me, I don't know. And just to top this off, this will be his final World Cup. He is super, super experienced. British and Irish Lions, Wales, Barbarians, you name it, he's been there. I think, and this goes for every player that I've chosen in these three, I think this will be a huge World Cup for him, knowing this is going to be his last World Cup. But, mate, I mean, look, you just got to look at him, man.
I
He's a
reckon
specimen.
he could play James Bond.
Yes, absolutely.
That little mystique about him as well. I love
He
that.
just got that cool, decent
Yeah.
size, and just, I don't know, that Welsh tan gets me, mate. I don't know where it's
Yeah,
from,
love
but
that.
far
I
out.
like that. I like that. All right, we'll go one for one again.
Let's do it.
I've got two Italians in my group, and yeah, I mean, they speak for themselves. Just because you're Italian, I think you get like 3 or 4 more points. But I think I know that's how to say it. Angie Capalso, the fullback or winger for Italy. He's burst onto the scene by scoring an unbelievable try against Wales. 24 years old, but he looks 18. Has the nerdy go, like he's got that nerdy style look to him, but I bet he gets down. Like he'd be someone that would like be able to fix like your laptop or your cell phone, but then like fix you a proper roast dinner, red wine, or a pasta as well.
The full package.
Italian wavy hair. Like I said, he's only 24, tan skin as well, dark wavy hair, and he's a absolute gun, a weapon. Man, in a tough pool, Italy are in a tough pool, but I think you throw him into a swimming pool, you want to watch him walk up the stairs afterwards. So I'm pushing for Italy to get out of that pool against France and New Zealand and Namibia, I think it is. So, man, and I hope I've said that close to correctly. Ange Capalso.
Mate, some of those names I've got to say before I go on to my next one, you got to look at Italy and even the Argentinians, mate. Like if you want to be a good looking, handsome male, you're praying you're born in Italy or Argentina for me.
100%. All right, over to you.
Okay, I've had to go back to
I love this segment. Sorry, guys, this segment,
mate,
right?
It wasn't that easy. It wasn't that easy. But I've gone for an English player. I've gone for Marcus Smith. Might surprise a few people. Reason being, couple stats here. 24 years old. Again, the perfect height, same as me, 5'10". He's only 82 kilos, which surprises me. But yeah, I saw him on the field at Twickenham with his shirt off after the game. The cameras, it wasn't me. The cameras couldn't get off him, so you can't blame me for this one. But good-looking chap.
Why did you pause? Why did you pause the TV?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why did I record it?
Why did I record? And yeah, I just feel like Marcus Smith, like just that new age, cool, tanned again. He's got that dark hair, that flowing hair. You know, he kicks a conversion. He's running back. His hair's flowing in the wind, and he's taking a glance up at himself on the big screen. Mate, what I've put towards this guy is I reckon he's the sort of guy now. I feel like he's matured over the last few years, at least the last 12 to 24 months. I feel like he's a sort of guy. If you're his wife or you're like his girlfriend and you walk in from a hard day, he's in the kitchen just with an apron on, you know, like no undies, his cheeks are bare. Yep. He's turning around when he hears the door go and he's just got that, you know, that print of a bodybuilder on the front, and she's just falling at her knees. He, for me, mate, Marcus, even when I first seen him come on the scene, just a good looking lad, can back it up. He's confident, maybe a little bit arrogant, but it suits him. He's again, we talk about the full package, mate. I'm chucking Marcus Smith in there.
Absolutely. I love that one. I'm backing that one up for sure.
Yep.
I'm going to jump onto a fella South African that is not playing for South Africa at the World Cup. He's playing for Scotland at the World Cup. Duan van der Merwe, Scotland's number 11, 28 years old. Think quickly. Tall, fast, blonde, shredded out of his mind. I mean, he's over 6 foot. He's definitely got that dreamy. His eyes are real dreamy. He's got the Drago look from Rocky Balboa, even though Rocky pumped him. Man, sexy man with the blonde hair, tall. Like I said, did I say he was jacked? I've seen him with a t-shirt on as well. Like, man, he's hot. And what makes him even hotter? 2 things, okay? He definitely speaks 2 languages. Girls love that, okay? He's English, Afrikaans.
Bonjour. I can go French, mate.
We'll put your CV up after this. And he's been killing it lately. So I'm tipping him to go close to top try scorer for this year for the World Cup. But man, dreamy as all hell, Duan van der Merwe of Scotland 11 winger fame. Beautiful.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you on that one, mate. I didn't think about him, but now you say it, yeah. Looks good. Do you know what? He looked good in British and Irish Lions colours.
Yeah, the red suited him.
Great.
Oh, yeah. I think when you're tall like that, and also like
I
tall
wouldn't
and skinny
know.
is different, but tall and pretty jacked, I think that's
everything that I'm not, mate.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
And he's got wavy blonde hair. Like,
yeah. Stop it. All right. I'm going to go on to my just to quickly touch on Marcus Smith. I feel like this is my prediction. I feel like he could be the player of the World Cup. I really think he's going to step up. I know it's a big call, but I feel like
with England's form lately. But
yeah, I feel like with his ability and his confidence on the world stage, I mean, he did well for the British and Irish Lions. A bit of a shock call up there, but did extremely well. So that's my prediction. I don't know. Maybe I'll be proved wrong. I don't know. And my third one, I can't go past my mate, Sam Matavesi, right, for Fiji.
Okay.
And the reason Samuel Sorelli Matavesi, born in Truro, Cornwall, he won't mind me saying, is he the best looking lad in the world? No. But the guy can back it up on the football field, mate. He's still got that smooth Fijian look about him, softly spoken. He's got that. I feel like all the Islanders have got like a funny laugh.
Yes.
Really funny laugh. Nice guy. Lets his rugby do the talking. It's sexy to watch when he plays. You know what I mean? He for me, it doesn't matter who he's playing against. If he's playing for Fiji against the All Blacks, it doesn't matter who's in that All Blacks team. He just takes it in his stride. He could be playing against his best mate down the park. Doesn't bother him. And I feel like Sam would be the sort of guy who, turns to his wife. And I know he's got kids, but I'm sure he would have turned to his wife and said, I want our kids to look exactly like you. He's got that real smooth side to him.
I was going to say he's got the real, like, you can cry on his shoulder comfort about him.
Mate, he's part of the Royal Navy. He's been crowned in different parts of the Royal Navy. He's got a medal for this. He's got a medal for that. He is a good-looking lad. Don't get me wrong. He's a good-looking lad, but just the full package. He's in the Royal Navy. He's played rugby for the Navy at Twickenham. He's an international. He's Cornish, which is the best part about it. And I'm going to go on and just say 19 caps for Fiji, but I think Sam Matavesi could be one of the standout players in this World Cup. And the reason being, Fiji on form, Sam taking a whole lot of confidence into this World Cup, especially when you saw him perform against England. I personally think he's one of the form hookers in world rugby. And I think people are going to stand up and watch and take a close look at Fiji in this World Cup. And I think, again, it's a bold prediction, but I think he could be one of the standout players in this World Cup. I really, really do. And I hope, for his sake, I really hope he does.
I hope so too. I've been loving the Fiji response that we've been getting, man. The Fijians love their rugby, and it's so good for them that they're doing so well. So I'm going to jump through these last. I've got two more that I want to get to.
Okay.
So this one, Monty Ioane from Italy. That's my second Italian. I'm pretty sure he was born in Australia, but plays on the wing for Italy, 28 years old. You got to have a guy with tats involved, man. He's inked up to the gills. He's got that bad boy look about him. He could probably play one of the bad boys, like if Will Smith or Martin Lawrence decides not to, we could chuck Monty Ioane into there. He's always barbered up, man. So I reckon he's got a barber on
personal barber.
That just comes and touches him up every day because he's always looking scucks deluxe. He can, I bet, speaks more than 2 languages. I think that's a big thing, especially if you want to woo the girls around the world.
Bonjour, madame.
Yeah, exactly. I think he can speak a bit of that, man. And again, in fine form at the moment, scoring tries at will. So,
I think the blue on that tanned inked skin also just helps, man.
Yeah,
it helps. Yeah, another one I didn't think of, but yeah, he looks good. I'm not the biggest tattoo fan for me personally, but some people just pull it off. Yeah, he pulls it off.
100%. Again, I've got a photo and I'm going to put it up with him without a t-shirt on.
Oh,
holy, stop it. And then lastly, and this is my shout for player of the tournament, regardless of how well the team does, Anthony Dupont French number 9, 26 years old, models for GQ covers. Whatever he touches turns to gold. He burst a rugby ball the other day. I don't know if you saw that. So he's probably burst a little bit more than that as off the field. We won't get to that much on that. His one-line captions on Instagram are out of this world. He posted ones of them all suited up, getting ready for the World Cup at their photos and tagged it Call of Duty. Like, no, who's thinking of that, man? Like his one-line captions on Instagram. And we all know girls are all about Instagram. That's if he bats for that team. He made a yellow robe on the GQ cover look sick. It's just him in a yellow robe, and he looked...
Not everyone can do that.
Not everyone can do that. He looks like he could probably kick your ass as well. I think he does a bit of extramural martial arts or jiu-jitsu. He's just got that look about him. And man, can he play rugby?
Yeah, he does. He does us short kings. Gives us a good reputation.
Yes.
There's a lot of big blokes out there playing rugby these days. Yep. So us little short kings, mate. He does us a world of good. I agree, mate. I think he's probably over the last 3 years, he's probably been one of the form players in world rugby. He's going to do well. He's going to do well. You know what he's like. He doesn't put a foot wrong. His service, every decision he makes is on point, including his Instagram posts and his quotes. So, I mean, I didn't know that, but there you go.
Go have a look. I'm telling you now, anyone listening, go have a look at his Instagram. His Instagram is quality, and then just look at his one-line captions. So good, real good. And that's it, man. I'm fizzled out after that. Holy, I might go cry in a corner.
Mentally drained. I'm going to the gym, getting a few tattoos in a minute. I'll book in, buy myself a blue top, and I'll be back next week.
Get a professional photographer to take some like candid photos of you, pretending you know he's there.
I'll be down at Merriweather Beach in the baths, mate, just resting back on that, feet in the water.
Lovely. Well, before we start, we do want to let's give our predictions on winners. That we'll keep it at that. We'll keep the other as we're going through the weeks of the World Cup on game to game predictions. But this is it, set in stone. Who's winning the 2023 World Cup for you?
Close your ears. Nah, I'm going South Africa, mate. All jokes aside, I think again I'm repeating myself, but the current form they're in going into that World Cup, the personnel they've got, the coaching staff they've got, the strength and depth. I'm not going to write off the All Blacks, but on current form, if I'm going off anything, you can't go past South Africa. You just can't. And my prediction is England get knocked out in the quarterfinal as well, just from a personal perspective. But yeah, for me, South Africa.
I'm going. So I mean, I've been saying it all the time, and I mean it. I'm going South Africa, but I'm going to make an even bolder prediction, and I'm going to go South Africa versus France in the final. And then South Africa topples that as well. Imagine that. Atmosphere like that, a World Cup final at France. Like their supporters are crazy. Again, touching on something totally different. You see Ireland's turnout for their open training session?
No, I didn't.
Shit.
No,
there was a full packed out stadium, like 30, 20,000 people at a training session.
That's what comes with being in form and doing your country proud. Yeah. It goes hand in hand. That's what you want going into a World Cup.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So yeah, guys, that's our last one leading into it. And guys, again, like we say, please subscribe. We're going to be putting out heaps of content, little match reviews, like 2 hours after the games are done. We're going to be climbing all over it.
And just like Dane said, even the feedback on the posts as well, guys, the comments always helps. People bounce off each other in the comments as well. So make sure you comment on everything as well, because we enjoy reading it back as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unreal.
All right, guys, good luck to everyone. If you're in the fantasy league, in the predictions, go for it. Go for gold. Just back South Africa all the way. You'll be fine, mate. All right, we'll see you guys next time.
See you guys.
Yeah, bye.